You want to bet? Go ahead and bet. Everybody bets now. The Supreme Court said it was okay for states to okay betting about 6 years ago, so everybody bets. Bet on everything. Okay? Now, as you might know, I am pro-gambling. I think gambling should be legal. I also think most people shouldn't gamble. It's going to become a problem. But if you want to gamble, go right ahead and go out there and gamble. There's a lot to gamble on. You know, these days, not only can you bet on everything under the sun in sports, you can bet on everything during the game, after the game, before the game. You can bet on other stuff. You know, you can even bet on the Oscars this weekend. That's where I draw the line, and I'll tell you why. Why am I whispering? Because I'm not going to whisper pretty soon. I'm whispering about Oscar betting because it isn't right. Okay, when you go to events out of sports, in sports, you're betting on a result that you don't know what's going to happen. Who's going to win the game? Who's going to have the most points? Is a player going to score this amount or that amount? Okay, you want to bet on an election? That's fine. You want to bet on Trump or Biden? That's fine. We don't know who's going to win Trump and Biden in November. The Oscars, they already have the results. They're in. Okay, do you understand? Game over. So you want to put a best in picture bet that you think Oppenheimer's going to win or Barbie or whatever? The results are already in. Somebody knows who won. Maybe 2 people know who won. Maybe 5 people know who won. This is a recipe for disaster. You shouldn't be able to bet on things in which the result is already determined. You know what? To do that makes me gambling mad. Welcome, my friends, and we hope you are happy to be here with me. This is Gambling Mad. Don't have any graphics yet. My name's Norman Chad, and we will be talking gambling, sports, culture, a little food, whatever you want. Gambling Mad is brought to you by Fritos. Picked fresh every day from Frito trees in Central California, directly to your grocery store that night. And by Fresca. It's revolutionary. It is reverberating. It is refreshing. It's Fresca. My friends, Fritos and Fresca. It's a meal. All right. Let's talk a little more about the Oscars. What else are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about Mike Tyson. We're going to talk about Rupert Murdoch. We're going to talk about Dartmouth basketball. We're going to talk about the Iditarod. But let me just talk a little bit more about the Oscars. Okay, 7 states allow online wagering this year on the Academy Awards. So if you have the Jones to bet on what's going to be the best animated short, then you want to be in Arizona, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, or New Jersey. Okay? But here's the thing. The results already been determined. Okay? The votes are all in. You know, I don't care if the accounting firm of Price, Waterhouse, Cooper, Funkel, Wagenstein, McCorkle Incorporated is monitoring the voting and it's the only one who knows the actual result. Somebody knows the results beforehand. All right? Maybe more than somebody. So this is a recipe for cheating. Why? I mean, what can I tell you? This is on Wall Street, they call this insider trading. All right? This is better than insider trading. This is more guaranteed than insider trading. The result is over. Somebody knows who won. You have the actual, official, final count. You know, it's like wagering on a horse race after the race is over. Some people have tried to do that as well. That's cheating. You should not be able to vote. You should not be able to bet on these type of things. You shouldn't be able to bet on the length of the national anthem at the Super Bowl because then you just tell the person, no, okay, make it over 2 minutes and 15 seconds and we'll spread out the bets and we'll get more money to you. Or on the color of the Gatorade. You know, again, somebody say, oh, yeah, we're going to use, this is the flavor Gatorade we're going to use. Things like that you shouldn't be able to bet on. Things in which the result is undetermined. That you can bet on, and even there you shouldn't bet. As I told you before, gambling should be legal, but most of us should not gamble. All right, let's move on to Dartmouth University. Dartmouth's basketball team, men's basketball team, this week have voted to unionize. They're students. All right, they decided they wanted to play on the basketball team. All right. It's an extracurricular activity. All right. So just because they decide that they want to play basketball after school, they're employees of the university, well, so far the courts have ruled that yes, this is the case. No. Okay? Okay, don't get me wrong. I am pro-labor. All right? But these are college students voluntarily playing basketball. Like in high school, I wanted to join the tennis team. All right? If they start charging money for the tennis matches, am I an employee and I'm supposed to get some of the tennis money from the school? I don't know. You tell me. So I don't know about this unionization business. Okay? And let's remember that every union gets union coffee breaks. Now, what happens if with these union coffee breaks, what happens if those coffee breaks aren't synced to the right parts of the game? Okay, so let's say Dartmouth is playing Harvard. The game is tied with 90 seconds left, and Dartmouth has a scheduled 15-minute union coffee break. I mean, Harvard's not unionized. Dartmouth's going to go off to take their 15-minute union break. Harvard's going to keep playing 5-0. Game over. Okay, game over. So, unless everybody's got to be unionized or nobody is unionized. They're college students. They're student athletes. They're not a union. I might be an idiot. That's my opinion. Let's move on. We got good news out there for all you seniors. All right, we found out this week Mike Tyson's going to fight again. We found out this week Rupert Murdoch is going to marry again. I repeat, Mike Tyson is fighting again. Rupert Murdoch is wedding again. Tyson is 57. Murdoch is 92. Tyson's younger than me. Rupert's older than me. I got to tell you, I'm never going to be fighting anytime soon. And I'm not getting married anytime again soon. In this case, I don't know what to tell you. Murdoch is getting married for the 5th time. Okay? He's 92. Got to tell you, you get married that often, you get married again at 92, you are an eternal optimist. I'll give him credit for that. As many of you probably know over the years, he's always married somebody much, much younger than him. This time he's actually marrying a retired scientist, still younger than him. But, at this point, at age 92, in his defense of always finding younger women, I don't think he's going to find a lot of available singles older than him at this point. So Rupert is going to walk down that aisle, and I hope it's love for him. For the woman, I'm not going to be cynical, but it's not like a Rupert. He's not an Adonis. He's probably not great in bed. Maybe he's got a great mind, a great sense of humor. We know he has money. I mean, I might marry Rupert for the money. Number 5 for Rupert. As far as Tyson, 57 years old. He's going to fight in July against notorious, famous for no reason, Jake Paul. Jake Paul. Jake Paul. I just say Jake Paul, and I just think bad things. Jake Paul. All right, so Jake Paul released a statement about this fight. Tyson hasn't fought a real fight, I guess, in about 20 years. When he was in his late 30s, and they did an exhibition. He did an exhibition a few years ago. Was that against Holyfield? Can't remember. Let me give you Jake Paul's statement about this fight. Quote, "My sights are set on becoming a world champion, and now I have a chance to prove myself against the greatest heavyweight champion ever, the baddest man on the planet, and the most dangerous boxer of all time. This will be the fight of a lifetime." All right, let's break this down if we can. All right, let's start with my sights are set on becoming a world champion. Not going to happen. Okay, you're not at that level. If you were at that level, you wouldn't be fighting AARP eligible men. All right? He says, now I have a chance to prove myself against the greatest heavyweight champion ever. Now, you can argue on who's the greatest heavyweight champion ever. Tyson, I guess, would be in the discussion. But he's not proving himself against the greatest heavyweight champion ever. Even if Tyson is, he was the greatest heavyweight champion ever 35 years ago. Okay? Right now, he's watching judge shows in the afternoon while having Fritos. All right? So he's not proving himself against the greatest heavyweight ever. He would be if he was fighting the greatest heavyweight ever 35 years ago. He says he's fighting against the baddest man on the planet, which we often call Tyson the baddest man on the planet. Again, he was certainly a bad man in the ring in 1990. Okay? But even then and now, I'd say the baddest man on the planet is probably some mob-connected boss, some Taliban or Al-Qaeda executive. They probably are badder men. Select dictators as well. And he also calls him the most dangerous boxer of all time. Well, again, he might have been dangerous when he, wasn't having all his dinners through a straw. The man's 57 years old now. He's not the most dangerous boxer now. He was the most dangerous boxer half a lifetime ago. So, Jake Paul, a lot of hype about nothing. This fight is going to be on Netflix, so it's going to get some eyeballs, and we'll see how many eyeballs, since they keep count of that stuff. Do you like The Fly? Got to tell you, I prefer The Train. Here's the latest airline story. All right, back on February 13th, on a Delta flight from Amsterdam to Detroit, maggots began falling from an overhead compartment onto passengers, according to the Guardian newspaper. So flight attendants then found a bag stowed above in which there was a rotting fish wrapped in newspaper. Let's stop right there. Where can you find a newspaper these days? I mean, I love newspapers. You tell me there was a newspaper somewhere aboard that aircraft that they put why was there a rotting fish? They put a rotting fish into a newspaper and put it up there? That's a miracle, okay? All right. So then the pilot came on when the maggots started dropping on down on everybody. And this is your pilot, Pilot Jones here up in the cockpit. We're going to return the flight to Amsterdam. And we will transfer you to another flight. Sorry for the inconvenience. Please enjoy your cocktails till we get back. So they went back to Amsterdam. Everyone deplaned. They were put on another flight. And then because of the maggot situation, Delta said, we'll do you a favor. Okay, we're apologizing to you. And so we're going to give everybody on this flight 8,000 additional frequent flyer miles, hotel room compensation for that evening, and a $30 meal ticket. Okay, that's the apology price for maggots falling into your lap. $30 meal ticket. Is there an Applebee's in Amsterdam? Because I know Applebee's still has the 2 apps, 2 entrees, $20. So that $30 meal ticket covers that, plus maybe a drink and the tip. Thank you very much, Delta. Now, I wonder if Delta has guidelines. I wonder if Delta has guidelines in like a company handbook about these situations. And what they then offer to passengers for stuff that happens that should not happen. I wonder, if a honey-baked ham falls out of the overhead compartment onto you, do you get 12,000 miles, maybe a hotel spa weekend, and a $75 meal ticket? If Kanye West falls out of the overhead compartment onto you, maybe that's 30,000 miles, 2 weeks in a Sedona, Arizona Airbnb, and a $250 meal ticket. I love Amtrak. The train is still the way to go. The train, you just pull up, the doors open, you walk in, you put your luggage up there, you go over to the dining compartment, you get yourself a beer, maybe a hot dog. You walk around looking for a card game. You know, it's the train. There's no turbulence in the sky. You don't have to go through some TSA stuff. They just make their way on those tracks. You look out the window and you go, boy, America has a lot of gas stations. All right. It's time to talk about the Iditarod. Are you familiar with the Iditarod trail sled dog race? Yeah. All right. So this is the latest story out of the Iditarod. We're in the middle of the race right now. 5-time Iditarod champion Dallas Seavey had to kill a moose along the trail that became entangled with a lot of his dogs. One of his dogs was injured. Seavey took out a handgun and shot the moose. The name of the moose is being withheld until next of kin can be notified. Now, I feel bad for the injured dog, just airlifted or flown to some animal hospital. I feel bad for the deceased moose. And all this could have been avoided. I'll be honest with you. It could have been avoided if there simply was no Iditarod trail sled dog race. Okay? This sporting event is insane. How they treat the dogs, what they put the dogs through. Do you think the dogs choose or are happy to mush across 1,000 miles of frozen trails in Alaska? No. And I don't want to hear that whole spin that these huskies and malamutes are bred to mush and they love to do it. How would anybody know? Are the dogs ever asked? No, they're not. Okay, I grew up with 2 Siberian Huskies, Tuffy and Yuki. Okay, they love to eat, they love to sleep, they love to sniff each other's butts. That's a good day. All right. Do you think they wanted to go race if I gave them the offer? Listen, you live in an air-conditioned house and you got a nice backyard and you got 3 squares a day. You think they want to go across a 1,000-mile trail with 8 or 10 other dogs with somebody yelling at them, mush, mush? No, they would not have. And this goes to now a point that I'm going to make, and I'm going to say this one time and one time only. It is time for us to stop using animals simply for our entertainment. All right? I'm going to say that one time and one time only. Let me say it one more time. It is time for us to stop using animals for our entertainment. So, no more sled dog races. No more dog fighting. No more horse racing. No more circus elephants. No more rodeos. What are we doing here? Okay? These animals don't want to do that stuff. We do it, though, because it's entertaining. In many cases, we do it because, of course, we're gambling. You think anybody would watch horse racing if there was no gambling? Heck, there's gambling now in horse racing, and hardly anybody's watching it. I mean, it's bad enough that we eat the animals. That's a whole other topic, but we probably shouldn't be eating other living beings. But let's stop using them so we can have a good time. Even a dog show. We took our dog to a dog show, Tuffy. What's that all about? Tuffy didn't want to go to the dog show. People shouldn't go to dog shows. The only good thing that ever came of dog shows is the movie Best in Show. It's a funny movie. All right, I'm going to say this one time and one time only. No more using animals for our entertainment purposes. Folks, that'll wrap us up today. You are watching a mini Gambling Mad. We'll be with you every week talking gambling, sports, culture, and food. That's right. I love Popeyes. Gambling Mad, brought to you by the good people at Fritos and Fresca. And remember, you're able to gamble, but you probably shouldn't.